you will always love hip-hop. Keep it flowing like a river, so I drip drop. Verses and bars, we eating dinner with the stars. Excuse me while I float away, my brain is on Mars. Cause it's the Big Kidz Podcast with Chris Williams. Sit back, relax, like your spliff, we in the building.
Yo, this is Chris Williams, and welcome back to the 2-year anniversary episode of the Big Kidz Podcast. I'll definitely get into reflecting on the past 2 years at the end of the episode, but as you can see, we started off this week's episode with what should be some good feels, and only because I'm a cynical asshole, I'm gonna poke holes in everything that was just said. So, NFL has this initiative, I'm going to call it. I'm sure as hell not going to call it a movement. This initiative called Inspire Change. This all came about when Colin Kaepernick was getting blackballed from the NFL, and Jay-Z was signing on, and they had these rappers signing on to be spokespeople and excuse me, ambassadors for diplomatic purposes between the community and the NFL. Now, if you guys were listening to my podcast in 2001, 2000, when they were signing these rappers on over the course of the past 2 years to perform at halftime shows and to curate playlists and, do shit that rappers do, I was calling bullshit on it back then. And then they pull up these numbers that you guys saw. And I know Nate Burleson's a company man. I'm not saying that he's not endorsing something that he doesn't believe in, because at its core, Inspire Change, the idea is excellent. It honestly could inspire change and get things done if it was done in a little more urgent of a manner, or if it was a little more urgent of a manner. But to donate $250 million over the course of 10 years, again, guys, I'm not the smartest, I'm not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but when the Denver Broncos just sold for $4.5 billion, now guys, that's the going rate now. That's how these things work. Excuse me. That's how these things work. So the next team, I'm not saying they're going to sell for $4.5 billion, but I can guarantee you're not getting an NFL team for anything less than probably $4 billion, okay? Now, $250 million going into $4 billion, how many times does that happen? 4, 8, 12, 16? Okay, so you guys are offering to donate. Again, you don't have to do it, so there is some good to it. But you're offering to donate 1/16th worth of an NFL team over the course of 10 years. Guys, now if that's we're not going to get down to breaking this shit down. I'm no mathematician here. But if $250 million is 1/16th worth, that like, Denver's not a premium team. Denver is not a New York team. Denver is not a Dallas team. Denver is not even a Washington team, a Philadelphia team, any team in the NFC East that has been considered ass over the last couple years. It's not those teams. So that's where I'm getting the $4 billion from, at least on average. Because those teams are probably selling for more than that. If the Broncos just sold for $4.5 billion, those big market teams are selling for more. Doesn't even matter if they're good or not. So, you guys are offering to donate 1/16 of the value of a NFL team to inspire change. Now, guys, we've talked about this before. You spend the money on the things that you care about. So if I feel like I gotta do the math here. What's 4 billion times 32? What is 4 billion times 32? 30, 60, 90, 120. So we're talking about 120, 130 billion dollars that just the teams are worth. We're not even talking about sales of merchandise, anything like that. And you guys are offered $250 million over the course of 10 years. You guys need to be ashamed of yourselves. You guys need to be ashamed of yourselves. You're talking about donating and giving back and matching and doing all this crazy shit that sounds good, and when you put it into when you structure it into a sentence, all these things sound good. All these things will get people to think that you're doing something. But what the hell is $250 million over 10 years going to do for all the communities that actually need it? What's that doing? Listen, this past year, they're talking 250 over 10. I did write this down. Came a little prepared because it was, 2-year anniversary episode. In 2022, they committed $6.5 million. That's what they're committed to in 2022. Guys, I got the article here. I'm going to try to read it to you. Continuing their commitment to support the social justice causes of their players, the NFL and its 32 teams on Tuesday announced the renewals of partnerships with 21 national organizations and another $6.5 million in donations designed to help strengthen economically disadvantaged communities and shrink the digital divide. Guys, what the hell is $6.5 million doing nationally to shrink the digital divide? Please explain that to me. What is that going to accomplish? That's enough money to get something done in a county. One county. One county, $6.5 million might be able to do something. You're stretching that nationally? Guys, you can't tell me that you care. When I called this initiative bullshit, these are things that I feel like they were doing anyway before they slapped a pretty title on it. The NFL was donating this money whether George Floyd got killed or not, because that's when all this shit popped up. So where's the extra? Where's the oomph? Where's the money to show people that can think about this? Show them that you really do care about the communities that your players come from, because it's not like all your players are coming from some stellar areas. We all know they fought to get to where they're at right now. But I'm of the mindset that you guys just want them to keep having to fight. You want to give them just enough to be like, well, if you keep working hard, maybe one day you could get some of this NFL. But you don't want to give them too much. You don't want them comfortable, because then they might not be as good. Guys, come on. A team just sold for $4.5 billion, and you guys are talking about we got $6.5 million for you this year. You need to be ashamed. The contracts that were just... Guys, that Tyreek Hill just signed for what, like $28 million a year? A wide receiver. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying, relative. What the hell is $6.5 million? Or if I'm even doing you one better, 250 over 10. In the commercial, you guys said that you've given out $30 million in grants over the last 3 years. Guys, nationally, what is that doing? What is that doing? And listen, I'm sure there's ins and outs of this that I'm not aware of. I'm on here giving a hot take. I should keep it real. I'm on here giving a hot take. But I know for a fact they're willing to spend more money on that. They probably spent more than $6.5 million just putting these YouTube videos together, putting these commercials, promoting. They probably spent more than $6.5 million. But nope, they gotta look good. They gotta bring Dr. Dre on to do the halftime show. Dr. Dre, listen, man, with all due respect, with all due fucking respect, that was pandering like a motherfucker bringing Dr. Dre up there. That man could barely even move around the stage, man. He's old. He's done his... Come on, man. And I don't even know what that's got to do with anything, but I'm sure you guys gave him a fat-ass check. I'm sure you guys gave him a fat-ass check that could have been spent somewhere else. You guys probably gave him more than $6.5 million to perform at the halftime show. I don't know, man. Again, I will always admit that I'm a cynical asshole. And yes, we should be happy that they're donating $25 million a year. That's not even on average, I guess. 10 years, $250 million. That's on average $25 million a year. Guys, that's not even $1 million a team. That's not even $1 million a team. Per year, of course, if you're following my math here. So let's do this. $250 million divided by 10. Wait. See, this is why I don't even like to do math on here, because sometimes it takes... I need a pen and paper. I'm not even going to do it. 250 times 10 or divided by 10 is $25 million a year. No, am I off on that? Is it $2.5 million a year? 2.5 times 10. Yep. No, that's $25 million. Okay, no, I was right. See, man, what the fuck? So I need to have a pen and paper. I need to have this shit already written out before I bring it to you guys. But point being, my math might be been a little confusing there, but you guys get the gist. You guys get the gist. Let me see. We'll pull this article back up. 250 million over 10-year span, but the work of the last 5 years is close to surpassing that target goal, and the NFL aims to continue its partnership with the Players Coalition. The work includes more than 1,800 inspired change matching grants that the NFL Foundation has awarded current and former players to further their charitable efforts. Okay, why we're getting a number. You guys keep liking to throw that $250 million over 10 years around, but you didn't tell us how much money in those 1,800 inspired change matching grants you've given out. The NFL is proud to renew its commitment to these 21 organizations as they continue to drive positive change in communities nationwide. No one's doubting that. Nobody's doubting that. The greatest societal needs that these organizations serve represent the core tenets behind inspired change, and their meaningful work and measurable impact continue to inspire the NFL in its ongoing quest for social justice. Guys, again, me being cynical, but $25 million a year is just that. Come on, $4.5 billion. That's all I got to say on that. $4.5 billion. Another company that I've found to be a little less than genuine in the past week or so, I have to say, is Peloton. Now, Peloton, I'm sure everybody knows, came to fame during the lockdowns when everyone was sitting at home and after a while, started to put on a couple pounds and still couldn't leave home really. So they decided to get a bike with a TV on it, and you take a class with other people. And all right, you get the gist. Because I don't know, I don't own one, but I've seen the commercial enough times. And I'm thinking they got like treadmills and stuff like that as well now. But anyway, Peloton, I'm assuming they're probably not selling as many Pelotons, as many bikes, as many treadmills, as many anything as they were over the course of the past 2 years. So they laid off almost 3,000 workers. 2,800, somewhere between like 2,800 and 3,000, something along those lines. Now, that's, this shows you, because it irritates me. You guys wanted to pay people when things were booming, because they were booming. And somebody that runs the company, somebody that gets to make decisions, really truly believe that the rate in which you guys were selling bikes was going to continue on that trend forever. So you hired people, I'm assuming not on in 18 months they might not be selling as well, so we're going to fire you basis, but somebody that was assuming that they were going to come to work there and be there for 5-10 years, because again, when you go into the workplace, a job doesn't want you there for 3 months, 6 months. They want you there for an extended period of time, so they don't have to train new people, so they don't have to, I was gonna say fuck up. I said it anyway. Fuck up the chemistry within, the workplace, the team setting. That's typically what jobs look for. That's typically what employers look for. Somebody that's going to be there for a little while. So there was no planning for when things would hit like normal. When sales might hit like a typical yearly average again. There was none of that going on. But I digress. The main point I'm bringing this up is not really because they laid them off, but because part of the severance package for when they did lay them off was a year subscription to Peloton. Yo, what the hell is wrong with these people? What is wrong? How much? Can I find out how much a year membership for Peloton is? Let's see. Excuse me. Get Peloton app membership for 3 months for $12.99. All right, I want a year though. So $13 a month. That's at least what Google's saying. 13 a month times 12. So thanks for my $156 membership from the place that just fired me, so I could watch other people who I used to work with or were colleagues of mine, so I could watch them still be at their jobs while I'm at home. While I'm at home without or looking for a job, and I can still stay fit with your product. What the hell is wrong with people? Yo, this shit is madness. You make all this money. And then when you gotta start to take a little bit of a hit to make sure that you can continue to pay your workers, you're like, nah, yo, you're fired. And here, take this $156 membership with you. Wow. All right, guys, just a quick hitter. While we're in between topics here. So if you have not seen, Elon Musk is what I would like to call trying to back out of his purchase of Twitter. Now, Elon Musk has done some pretty interesting things as of late. One of which is apparently, as reported on NPR, he is now forcing the majority of his staff, a lot of which he hired while it was a remote job. He's telling them to either move their work life back into the office or quit. Okay? Now, I have a problem with that only in the cases really where you hired people that signed up for the job remotely. Okay? Apparently they can get the job done. It just sounds like you want to be an asshole about it. But two, he is also laying off some people and he's cutting everyone's salary by 10%. Now, what the fuck is that about? This is literally rich people between Peloton, not as much as Elon Musk, of course, but between Peloton and Elon Musk, you guys are just showing how greedy you fuckers are. That is absolutely, positively disgusting. Disgusting. If anything, I don't even care. I don't even care. You should be raising their shit by 10%. I don't care if that's a smart business move or not. You should be raising their shit by 10%. Because apparently they've put you in a position where you can even think about buying Twitter for $40 some odd billion. Not million, $1 billion. Now, when it comes to that, it sounds to me like this whole money's not real shit that you've been on for the past however long, I think that's starting to settle in a little bit, huh? You're starting to realize that while, yes, money is made up and it sounds cool to have a philosophical view on what money actually is, that your ass is not ready or willing to give up $44 billion of this hypothetical made up money. It sounds to me like you're trying to back out of a deal. And to be honest, I don't even know if you really wanted to buy Twitter in the first place. I think it just sounded good. Everything else was going on. You had that thing going on with the stewardess on the plane. To you, I think you're of the mindset of there's no such thing as bad publicity because they're talking about you. You got enough money where you're pretty much untouchable. You're not going to prison. Okay? But anyway, that's happening. We find out you fucked Amber Heard. We found out that you paid part of her donation. Then we find out, oh, big dick Elon's in the room. He's spending 44 or 47, whatever it was, $1 billion on Twitter. Now you're talking about, oh, well, Twitter's not telling me how many of these accounts are bots. Motherfucker, you knew that before going into it. There's no way you didn't. You had somebody do research before you even started the process of thinking about saying you were gonna buy Twitter. You knew all that shit was, a whole bunch of that shit was bots, and there was no way in the world that they were ever gonna be able to tell you who's a bot and who's not. You already knew that. So stop it. Stop it. You are rich enough that you do not need 15 minutes of fame. Don't buy Twitter. Go on about your fucking business, man. Make your fucking cars. Make it so since you give a fuck about the environment and whatnot, make it so everyone could buy a fucking car. You know? Maybe instead of venturing out to outer space, you try to do something with our oceans that are right here. Then you fuck off and have a nice day. And I really, truly don't even have a problem with Elon. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. Why? Because he don't give a fuck about me. Facts. But I can tell when a motherfucker likes attention or not. And what really makes me upset is when people try to act like they don't like attention, but their actions tell you something completely different. That's what irritates me, and that's how I feel about Elon. But when it comes to speaking about people who really aren't genuine, who truly, in my opinion, do not care, are the Republicans. Guys, and I know we're kind of going back to the oranges. the oranges of this podcast and talking politics a little more lately, but there's been a whole bunch of bullshit going on, and there's been a whole boatload of Republican fake empathy, Republican fake sympathy, Republican crocodile tears when it comes to being genuine about emotion and doing what's better for the whole. You've been getting a whole bunch of terrible lip service. Terrible. Like, just keep it. I don't even want it. You're better off just shutting the fuck up. You're getting that type of service from these people right now. And you know what? I think this is a great way to kick off this portion. I got 3 clips for you guys, but we're going to start it off with what's becoming a weekly occurrence on this show. Last week in the Republican Party, brought to you by the Lincoln Project.
Wake up, America! Wake up, okay? Before our country is considered a shithole, like President Trump used to say.
If you're a Republican, you can't even lie to Congress or lie to an FBI agent, or they're coming after you. They're going to bury you.
I'll take Biden and every single senior staff member in there.
And do what?
And do what? Them with subpoenas, and we'll start with the impeachment of Biden.
Our kids today face so many problems, it's off the chart. They can be hungry.
So I do need folks to go to laurenforfreedom.com to help me defeat this disgusting groomer in Colorado.
We should be proud of nationalism, and we should be proud of an America First nationalism.
You could push to an end of the war in Ukraine, which Biden is single-handedly prolonging.
He's not even playing golf like other presidents.
Well, that's the why
he can play at any course he wants to, and he doesn't even play golf.
Candace Taylor, for every single vote that Kemp got, got their votes, and then Candace got 5% back.
If the people who did this and cheated are watching, I do not concede.
If you'd like some words about encouragement, motivation, and getting through the difficult times that we're living through, just call on me. Through Cameo and the magic of Cameo.
I'm a 21-year retired Iraq war veteran, January 6th defendant, Navy mom.
All the way.
And yes, my trial starts September 12th.
We need to go back to burning women alive more. Like when they're convicted of crimes, obviously, not random acts of violence.
Probably in about 4 or 5 generations, no one will be straight anymore.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. President. Welcome to the Young Women's Leadership Summit at Turning Point USA.
Wow, that sounds so beautiful. So beautiful.
Guys, how absolutely batshit crazy are these people? How are these the things that, as educated adults, continue to pour out of your mouths on a week-to-week basis? Louis Gohmert is really on here complaining that Republicans can no longer lie to the federal government, the FBI, the CIA, because if you lie to them, they're coming for you. Because I am absolutely sure that's exactly how it goes for everybody. You as a Republican, you as a conservative, you as a dickhead do not have special privileges when it comes to lying to the federal government. Like bold-faced lying. Like they ask you a yes or no question, you know the answer is yes, they know the answer to the question is yes, and you say no. Okay? There ain't nothing that we could do for you about that. And you going on, because you know that's going to be televised, you going on TV and spewing that bullshit should honestly get you removed. That just lets us know how much you lie, that you think lying should be accepted. If you think, imagine how much you're lying to your constituents. Imagine how much you're lying to your wife and kids if you think it is okay to lie to a motherfucker that can lock you up. Lying to those people in your life, that's easy. You think you'll lie to the FBI? You should be, you just, hey, it is what it is. It's part of the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Get the hell out of here, Louis. Get out of here. And then in that same 2-minute clip, you have Jesse Waters from Fox News complaining about Joe Biden not playing golf. Guys, imagine if Joe Biden, the way things are right now, was caught playing a single round of golf. Imagine, guys, crazy world we live in. Imagine if the rest of the country was on lockdown because of a pandemic. No one's really allowed to leave the house unless it's, essential. But you as the president decided to go have a weekend of golf. Just imagine that world right there, and Fox News has nothing to say. You guys might think that that's in another dimension, that's another universe, that's a different aspect of the multiverse. But no, that happened when Donald Trump, during the middle of a pandemic when no one was allowed to do shit, these guys are doing their jobs from their living rooms. But he's out playing golf and they were crickets. Okay, that's the hypocrisy we're dealing with. That's the nonsensical hypocrisy we're dealing with. Imagine, they're talking about he needs to relax, he needs to go play golf. Imagine if he actually did that. They came at Obama for getting spicy mustard on his goddamn hot dog. We're not out here talking about paying off porn stars. We're not over here talking about trying to get a Trump Moscow built during the middle of an election. We're not talking about those kinds of things. We're not talking about your daughter becoming a billionaire while she's your advisor. We're not talking about those things. And the worst you got for me is Hunter Biden was getting $50,000 a month. Hunter Biden sold some artwork. Hunter Biden didn't pay his taxes. Listen, all of those things, everything that I just mentioned, if it's criminal, deal with it. If he needs to pay $10 million back in taxes, and if he can't, he's got to be locked up, so be it. I'm not here to make excuses for his ass. You guys make excuses no matter what. Whatever side you're on, whatever side you're perceived to be on in that moment, you always got excuses for him. Always. What else? Oh, God, you saw Rudy Giuliani. You saw Rudy Giuliani cutting a promo for Cameo. Times must be rough, Rudy, huh? That's some shit I need to be doing, not you. That's some shit I should be doing. Not on Cameo, but, I should be out there putting together a low-budget fucking promo for something. That shit looked terrible. Rudy looked terrible. He sounded terrible. And then the last thing, out of the many things that I could comment about this, did you really hear this man say that we should be burning women alive that commit crimes? Guys, these are things that the Republican Party believes. That they champion. It's not even that they believe it. They champion it. They fucking put these people on a pedestal. Pedestal. And they get to run for things like county clerk, congressperson, senator, governor, president. Guys, we're about to get more into what's going to be happening Thursday night. So I'm probably going to release this during the day, Thursday. So what's going to be happening later on in the day with the January 6th hearings. Now, I usually, and you guys know this, I really haven't been buying into that news shit unless it's actual news. I'm not watching another motherfucker that's supposed to be giving me the news give me their opinion for an hour, and then the next hour it's the same exact opinion. I'm not doing that, okay? I would much rather listen to someone's podcast. You know, because at the end of the day, that's all it really is. But the January 6th hearings are happening tomorrow. I believe they start at 8 p.m. And I'm going to watch. And I'm going to watch. Why? Not because it's Game 7. Not because a championship is on the line. Because nothing like this has ever happened in American history. The motherfucking Confederate Army didn't even try to take over the House of Congress, take over the Senate. You're in Washington, D.C. chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." None of this has ever happened. And I guarantee I hate playing the race card because I think that there's always, yes, I believe race plays a lot into a lot of things, but I do think that there's always a deeper meaning. But imagine if that was 5,000 black people trying to do that shit. Imagine if that was 5,000 Latino, black, non-white minorities trying to take over the U.S. Capitol. Guys, nothing like this has ever happened. And I've gotten on here a few times and tried to illustrate to you guys how big of a deal this actually is. I'm trying to tell you guys how big of a deal this actually is. It's never happened. All the beef. 1776. Almost 400 years. And that shit has never happened. So, with that said, guys, I just wanna play for you guys an MSNBC clip that simply shows the extent that Donald Trump, the then president of the United States, guys, he was the president of the United States. The extent that this man went to bully Mike Pence into trying to overturn the election. Here you go, guys.
You know, in the movies, the ones about big bad moments in presidential history, the Oval Office, it's dark. There's ominous music playing. Everybody's got this grimace on their face. So I want you to listen to this. It reads as if it's taken from one of those screenplays. Quote, "The evening of January 5th, the day before the formal certification process, Donald Trump met with Mike Pence. He urged Pence, as the presiding officer at the certification session, to throw Biden's electors out. Pence said he didn't have the power. Quote, what if these people say you do, Trump asked. He gestured outside where a massive crowd of his supporters had gathered. Their cheering, their bullhorns could be heard through the Oval Office windows. I wouldn't want any one person to have that authority, Pence said. But wouldn't it almost be cool to have that power? Asked the President of the United States. No, Pence said. I'm just there to open the envelopes. You don't understand, Mike. You can do this. I don't want to be your friend anymore if you don't do this. Trump's voice became louder and he grew threatening. You've betrayed us. I made you. You were nothing, he said. Your career is over if you do this. Cut, because that's where the director would yell cut if this were a scene from a movie. But it's not. It happened. It's June 6th today. It's been a year and a half since January 6th. In that time, the contours of what happened have become fairly clear. After the president of the United States lost re-election, he and his supporters launched a full-scale, multi-pronged effort to overturn the legitimate results of that election, one that culminated with a violent attack on the Capitol. We've gotten a pretty granular understanding of it, too. We know that sitting members of Congress were in on the plot. We know that the president's daughter witnessed her dad try to pressure the vice president, Mike Pence, to stop the official counting of the ballot. Heck, thanks to that original reporting that I just read to you from Bob Woodward and Robert Costa, we even know that the president threatened to stop being Mike Pence's friend, for whatever that's worth. I'm totally not going to be your friend anymore, Mike, if you don't throw the election my way. We're just 2 days away from the beginning of the January 6th public portion of the hearings, where investigators will lay out the results of the congressional inquiry into what happened and into who is ultimately responsible. And yet, we're still learning new details about the lead up to what was almost the successful overthrow of American democracy. The first piece of information today has to do with this.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
And I'll be there with you. Guys, I don't even want to say 10 years old. I feel like at 10 years old, you can do a little better than this. Wouldn't that be nice? Or wouldn't that be cool if you had all the power as a single person to overturn the election? That's very back in the days when you're watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You think that the bad guy should be taken out in one swoop. That's that type of logic. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool if my dad could pick up the whole entire house over the top of his head? My dad is stronger than your dad. Follows that up with, if you don't do it, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Wow. Guys, he stopped maturing at 12. Had to have. Again, I might be giving that might be the 10-year-old response. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't want to be your friend. You're nothing. I made you. Jeez, this sounds real adult, doesn't it? And he had absolutely nothing to do with what happened on January 6th. Nothing at all. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. Wouldn't that be cool if one person can overturn over 150 million votes? If you don't do this for me, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I made you. You're nothing without me. Jeez, guys, this is a dangerous man. This is a very dangerous man. He cannot be the president again. There's no way. For everything that's going on with Joe Biden, right or wrong, Donald Trump and the people who continue to make excuses for Donald Trump cannot run this country. They can't. They think that this type of shit is okay. And the funny thing that's going on right now, the absolutely stand-up comedy worthy thing that is going on right now with the GOP, the grand old party, is the reasoning that they're giving for why. The reasoning they're giving for why AR-15s are needed. I'm going to play that for you guys right now.
Republican lawmakers recently have been defending the current accessibility of assault-style weapons. Senator John Thune of South Dakota was asked yesterday why someone would need an AR-15. Here's what he had to say, followed by some other Republicans who have weighed in on that question.
They are a sporting rifle, and it's something that a lot of people, for purposes of going out, target shooting, in my state, they use them to shoot prairie dogs and, you know, other types of varmints. And so I think that there are legitimate reasons why people would want to have them.
I'm representing my constituents. In rural Colorado, an AR-15 is a gun of choice for killing raccoons before they get to our chickens. It is a gun of choice for killing a fox.
Do you think that there is any room to ban assault weapons in this country? Why does someone need an AR-15?
Well, if you talk to the people that own it, killing feral pigs in the, you know, whatever, the middle of Louisiana, they wonder, why would you take it away from me? I'm law-abiding. I've never done anything. I use it to kill feral pigs. The action of a criminal deprives me of my right.
Guys, isn't that fucking comical? For killing squirrels, for killing prairie dogs. Have you seen what these guns do to a human? A prairie dog's gonna explode. And their favorite word or phrase to use is weapon of choice. Well, I think it's time to choose something else. I think it's time to, if you want this type of gun, I think it's time to choose to take the certification classes to maintain that gun. I feel like it's time to choose to make it so 18-year-olds can't have this gun unless they are in the military. Guys, you can't rent a car at 18. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes. You can't have a drink at 18. Whether you're in the military or not, you're not supposed to have a drink at 18. But you could go buy an AR-15. And there is a reason. Again, I'm not a gunhead, but there is a reason that majority of these mass shootings involve an AR-15. Why? I don't know. But again, gun of choice, weapon of choice. I'm sorry, it's time to choose something else. It really is. Because these weak ass excuses for why they're needed, they don't pass the sniff test. You're telling me that a hunting rifle can't do the job on a prairie dog? On a wolf that's trying to take out your livestock? You know, what I'm... Again, guys, I'm not saying what the things that I've been talking about over the past couple weeks are not going to 100% solve the problem. If you want to be an asshole, you're always going to be able to, even if these laws were passed, be able to come to me and be like, well, Chris, look, there was a mass shooting last week. Like no shit, Sherlock. No shit. We're talking about the per capita. How many people are being killed per mass shooting? How many people are getting shot per mass shooting? There is no way in the world the same amount of people would get hit with a handgun, a hunting rifle. Then an AR, you're going pat, 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 pat. Then you're modifying it, and then you're doing a whole bunch of other shit to it. Come on, man. Come on. What is it honestly going to take? What is it going to take for you Republicans to get on board with just, at the minimum, something? Background checks, raise the age. When is it? That's like basic shit, man. It's going to take someone from your family, someone you know, to be affected. Just like it is in every case with you people. Let's be real. Oh, Party of Lincoln, we're the ones that freed the slaves. Yeah, okay, man, listen, that was a while ago. In recent history, you are the ones that don't like black people. You'd like to have your couple around so you could say that, look, I got black friends, I hang out with black. You don't like black people. You're not invited to the cookout until your daughter has a kid with a black guy. You guys didn't like people that are part of the gay community until you found out your daughter was a lesbian, until you found out your son was, and there was nothing else you could do about it besides accept them, own it, and love them for who they are. Those are the type of people that you are. You don't learn from what other people go through. You personally have to go through it. And those are the worst kinds of people, because you waste time, you waste money, and you sure as hell waste lives. Listen, nothing. We could want change, we could strive for change, but unless you have 60 votes in the Senate, most change does not fucking matter. Most change is not going to happen, because these people do not care. It's that simple. It is that simple. These people do not care. They want you to have babies, but won't help you. You didn't want the baby. You try to, take a cheaper route to make sure that nobody really has to suffer. But no, we can't do that. We got to sign you up for a lifetime of bills and other things that come along with having children. And fuck you, we're not going to help you. If it was up to us, you wouldn't have shit. Okay, we talk about helping the military, we want to praise 9/11 first responders, but it's you guys who continue to vote against funding health packages for them. It's you guys who makes it a million times harder for soldiers that come back home to get the treatment that they need to try to reintegrate into society. It's you people are the ones that do this. But you'll be quick. You'll be quick to get on board with a tax break. You'll be quick to get on board with one of those. Again, why? Because this is what you're dealing with versus what they're dealing with. And that's how you guys will always get down. Until it happens to you. Now, before I get into reflecting on the last 2 years of doing this podcast, I did want to just address something that I said I was going to address last week, and that is the Madden trailer. Now, I'm not going to spend more than 2 minutes talking about this, because that's pretty much all it deserves. And if you want a comprehensive breakdown, I suggest going to Ryan Moody 21's YouTube page. He does a great job of breaking it down, and any point that I'm gonna make on here, it's something that he made, and I don't want to jock his commentating on the topic. But guys, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. It is the same shit year after year. They just try to change the wording, change the descriptive words, but if you go back, the reviews say the same thing as the reviews have for the past 10, 12, 13 years. It's the over and over again. I'm at a loss for words because I've said everything that needs to be said. These commentators have said everything that needs to be said. You guys continue to steal money from us when you could just be putting out updates. I'd pay $5, $10 for a roster update at the end of the year to get the new roster. Like, that's how it should be. Could you guys continue to put out the same games? There's no updates to the franchise mode. It looks like there's no updates to the gameplay. But you guys are going to put a new coat of paint on it, slap a new number on it, and sell it to everybody for anywhere from $65 to $120, and then in a couple months it's going to drop in price, and then we're going to be right back to where we are. And that's my 2 minutes on that. Now, guys, thank you for bearing with me over the past 2 years. The technical difficulties, the lack of knowledge when it comes to knowing how to get certain things on certain platforms, how to promote my stuff, how to do pretty much anything when it comes to running a podcast, a YouTube channel, or Instagram page, anything like that. You know, and I just appreciate anybody who has stuck with me since the beginning or stuck with me for any period of time, really, you know. I know people go through phases of listening. I can tell by the numbers, you know. People won't listen for a couple months, and then they'll listen to 8, 9, 10 episodes, you know, in a very quick amount of time. And no matter how it happens, when it happens, I thank you. I really, truly thank you, because even with the 10, 20, 30 views I'm getting on YouTube right now, like, nobody has to take any amount of time. Nobody has to take any amount of time to listen to anything I have to say. Doesn't have to take any time to watch anything that I'm putting out, to communicate with me in any form or fashion. Nobody owes that to me. So when I get people that listen, I get people that engage, I get people whose emails and letters I still have that I have not answered yet, and I need to get or I need to do a special episode just answering some of this stuff. But I just want to say thank you. Because listen, like I said, from day one, episode 1, June 10th, 2020, as long as one person is listening, I will continue to do this. And I do this because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy saying what I have to say. I enjoy sometimes being ignorant to something, saying what I have to say, reflecting on it, and then coming back and having a different stance, but at the same time manning up to what I said prior. You know, I enjoy the process. I'm starting to enjoy editing this stuff, messing with the video editing software, messing with the sliders when it comes to doing the mic. You know, sitting down, doing my notes, coming up with the cover art and the thumbnails and all this stuff. It's fun. It's fun. I absolutely love my job, and I will work there for as long as they allow me to. Till the doors close, I will work at that job. But if I could keep grinding, if I can keep improving, because guys, listen to episode 1 and then come watch. Come watch episode 110. And it has taken me a while to get here, guys, but I feel like I've been going through college. I've been putting myself through something. Because again, stepped into this knowing nothing. Not even knowing how to record. Not knowing how to record and export and even just get it into SoundCloud at the time. Not understanding that I don't have to spend a couple $100s a year on a web page, because what the hell do I need a web page for? Wasting time on things like that instead of just using applications like Anchor. You know, limiting my listeners because I'm not on these other platforms because I don't use them. I'm thinking I don't use them, I don't need to put them out on anything else. But to get people to listen, you gotta have an outreach. You gotta put money into this, and that is what I'm going to do with my first retrospective coming out. When I put the retrospective out on YouTube, I'm gonna invest. I don't know exactly how much yet. I gotta read up on how exactly it works, but I'm gonna invest a little bit of money in promoting my page then. You know, so all these memberships fees that I've been paying when I didn't need to pay them, when I could just go to Anchor, pay this one-time thing with Apple Music, so my shit's on Apple Music every single week automatically. I was spending $180 on a website. I was spending $25 at SoundCloud. I was spending ridiculous money. Well, not ridiculous, but ridiculous in the sense that all I really needed to spend was $20. You feel me on that? But guys, it's been a learning process. It's been a learning process. And to go back to what I was saying before, I will keep my job. But if I could figure out a way to make this work. See, I just got a phone call right there. I had to deal with some work stuff. But like I was saying, if I could find a way to make a little change by doing a podcast, by doing live streams, I don't need to make much. I'll keep my job forever and I will live happy. As happy as a clam. I promise you that. And that's because it's not because I don't want things out of life. It's not because I don't have goals. It's because I'm comfortable in knowing that I live better than most people. That's just the reality. Even when you got it bad, you're living better than most people. And I get it can, I don't want to use the word easy. It can be common to fall into a depression. I've been there. You know, you don't put on weight for no fucking reason possible. You know, I fell into a little depression. There was no more football. There was no more direction being laid out for you. You had to find your own way. You had to find your own direction. You had to feed your own curiosity. And when they tell young kids an idle mind is a dangerous mind, I think that is a true statement. No, you might not necessarily want to go out and create mayhem and ruckus, but you can self-implode. If you're not staying busy with something that you enjoy, it's not just even about just staying busy, especially when you're about to be 30 years old. Yeah, staying busy is good, but if you have the opportunity to stay busy with something that you enjoy doing, you're lucky. A lot of people don't get that time. A lot of people don't get time to watch Netflix, binge watch Netflix episodes. A lot of people don't get time to go to the gym. A lot of people don't get time to cook marvelous meals every single night. A lot of people don't get those opportunities. So when you get that, enjoy it. There's been weeks where I've not wanted to do this, but I've felt like I needed to hold myself accountable. And no matter what, on the worst week, on the best week, after doing this, I've always felt a little better. Some weeks have been more so than others, but after every single week of doing this, I felt better. Why? Because I got to come on here, I got to complain to you guys. A few of you guys listen. You know, I'm reaching somebody with my thoughts and ideas, and it's free therapy. It's been amazing. It really has. I've found my niche, and that's doing this. And will we get more professional about it? Of course. From a presentation standpoint, from a topic standpoint, from an interview standpoint, we'll get more professional. But we're talking degrees here. Because I'm not selling out. I'm not popping my ass for no loose change. I'm not, when people give me the advice that I should stick to one topic, I'm not hating on that advice, because I do think that is the prototypical way to get your show to boom. But I'm not interested in doing one topic, one subject. I'm interested in talking about what I dealt with, what I saw, what's grinding my gears during that week. I like to give my hot takes on things. Some things I'm more passionate about than others, but this is what I enjoy doing. And like I said, I'm going to put out those individual videos that are geared towards, that are based towards specific topics and subjects. But on a week-to-week basis, guys, you got me for an hour. You got me for 45 minutes to an hour and some change every single week. I promise you that. I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to continue to work on my craft of being a one-man production. I'm going to continue to put out something every single week for you guys. I'm going to be able to be in a spot where you're going to be able to tell your friends, yo, I listened to this podcast. You should listen to it. And you don't feel ashamed because the volume's fucked up. And you don't feel ashamed because the video's fucked up. And I don't have to be your guilty pleasure. You like the things that I got to say, but the production value is shit, so you don't want to suggest it to anybody. I'm going to work on these things. I'm getting better. And in my opinion, the most important thing that I do is I fess up to it. I'll let you know when I fucked up production, when I don't know what's going on. And that's my way of keeping myself in check. That's my way of not letting my head get too big about anything, no matter what. Because, guys, somebody's always got it better than you. Somebody's always better than you. And somebody's always got it worse than you. And somebody is honestly worse off than you. You know, and I know I could speak in circles. I know I can be repetitive. I know I can even be controversial with some of my thoughts and ideas. But that's life. You're the same way. Your neighbor's the same way. Your sister's the same way. Your brother's the same way. Your dad, your mom, your uncle, your best friend are the same way. But a lot of people don't want to say it. A lot of people don't want to say it for the world to hear. A lot of people like to stay. People make fun and poke fun at me because I chose to be a hermit. But I do possess the tools to do whatever is necessary. If I need to go throw on the dress shirt and do whatever I need to do with it, I can do that. I'm comfortable there. If I need to go check my boys back in Binghamton, I'm comfortable there. So just honestly, guys, they say you have to be uncomfortable, which is true. Work on being uncomfortable so you can be comfortable. So you don't have to think about it. So it's dirt off your shoulder. Be prepared for the unexpected. And I mean that in a good way and a bad way. Be prepared for some bad shit to happen, but also prepare for some opportunities to come your way and run with them shits. And don't be afraid to call out hypocrisy. That does not make you a bad person. Not caring about something as much as the next person does not make you a bad person. Being a fronter makes you a bad person. Acting like you care about something that you don't makes you a fucked up person. And guys, and I think in this, however long this bit has been, I've pretty much summed up what this whole entire podcast has stood for, what it's meant to me. It's given me the opportunity to reach out to people I don't really talk to that much or haven't talked to in years. It's given me a chance to air out my grievances for the week. It's given me a chance to call out hypocrisy. It's given me a chance to feel like I'm somewhat important because I got people that I might not even know. I got people listening to this podcast in Japan. I got people listening to this podcast in Germany. And for whatever reason, that makes you feel a certain sort of way, a certain type of way. But you got to keep it all in check. Because you're not entitled to shit. You're not entitled to your next breath. You're not entitled to the next sip of water. Enjoy it, people. Enjoy it. Guys, that's 2 years right there. 110 episodes, some MMA chats, a couple other things we've gotten done in the first 2 years, man. And I'm very proud of it. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in for this special day to listen to me bitch, moan, and complain like I do every other week. But with that said, guys, I want you to be safe, be easy, and wash your ass. I'm out of here. Peace.